Nobody can afford ammo. Well, at least not as much as you would need to truly master shooting. Shooting is a very perishable skill, and a lack of funding tends to keep people from training to the degree that they need to. If you're carrying a firearm for self-defense, that's inexcusable. This is where dry fire comes in. It's the fastest and cheapest way to improve your live fire skills. Today, we'll be looking at what makes good dry fire and what are some tools and systems you can use to help yourself improve. Since cost is such a big part of this, we're gonna run all the way from free to baller status. If you don't know what dry fire is, it's just practicing your shooting fundamentals with an empty gun. This can be done in the comfort of your own living room. Also, don't be an idiot.
Pull it up.
Make sure your gun is clear, your magazines are clear, and you're aiming in the least dangerous direction possible. At the start of all of my dry fire sessions, I have a specific safety checklist that I go through. It's very simple, but just to show you, first, I check that my gun is empty, no magazine, check the chamber, nothing there. I check that my magazines don't have ammo in them, right? Don't want to be practicing reloads and suddenly there's a hole in your wall. There's no ammunition in the room, and I find a spot that is the safest direction to point my gun at. In apartments or even in houses, there aren't a lot of safe directions, but I'm going to be dry. It's just an added layer of safety. Then right before I start, I check one more time that my chamber is clear, I'm good to go, and I can start training. I love that I picked the gun that has no sights on it. Let's start with the most basic type of dry fire. For this, all you need is your pistol, your target, and a lot of honesty. While this is the simplest in terms of setup and equipment, it's the most complex in the mental aspect. Someone who's been shooting for a long time can see a lot of improvement from this kind of dry fire because they know what their bullet will do in relation to their dot. But newer shooters might not be able to understand that. This takes experience to be used properly. When it comes to pressing your trigger, most modern guns are going to require you to reset your trigger after each shot. Typically that means retracting your slide just enough to reset the trigger. Now this is really only necessary if you're focusing on your trigger press exclusively. If you're working on target transitions, this is less of a priority. This allows you to just simulate your trigger presses after that first break. One trick that might work for you was taught by my friend Alex. He told me that if you fold up a small piece of paper and place it in your ejection port, it'll keep the pistol just out of battery, and that allows you to repeatedly press your trigger. It's not going to feel the same as an actual trigger break, but it gets you pretty close. If you're working from a holster, just be careful. Being out of battery does introduce some sharp edges. If you're all out of Post-its, you might want to consider a dry fire mag. Now, dry fire mag is a specific product that's meant to reset your trigger every time you press. That keeps you from having to reset your slide or use the paper trick. It takes form of a magazine and allows you to practice with your own pistol. When dry firing like this, you can use basically any target you want. Some people just use tape on the walls. I've found a YouTube channel that's been very helpful for this called Dry Fire King. Basically what it does is supply you with pre-made courses of fire that you play on your TV and at a certain distance simulates what an actual stage would look like. The best thing about basic dry fire is it's free. It can also be done anywhere, including the range. I'm not sure you can get away with it at the bank. Now when I dry fire, I like to build on top of basic skills. So I'll spend the first few minutes just bringing my hand to the gun and establishing a good grip. Once I'm able to do this consistently, I'll add one more action, which would be releasing my retention. From there, you're adding one motion at a time until they compound into presenting your pistol and being on target. The only real drawback is that there's no objective feedback. I've sent a lot of bad shots downrange, so I know what they feel like. Another option would be to use a laser trainer. Now this could be a laser cartridge. These replace an actual cartridge in your chamber and they're activated by your firing pin. Instead of sending lead towards your wall, you're just sending a bright concentrated piece of light, aka a laser. This could also be a dedicated laser pistol like the SIRT pistols. The biggest benefit of these is that they give you immediate feedback. The laser pistols are especially useful for teaching new shooters or people who might be a little bit afraid of guns. Having a fake pistol that can't possibly fire and just puts a light on the wall can make people feel a bit more at ease as they're getting started. The laser cartridges are not very expensive, but the dedicated laser pistols, they can get up there. The downsides of these are few but substantial. I've used the laser cartridges before, and what I've found is that they're not always perfectly machined and landing where my optic is zeroed. So you may need to either adjust your zero for your laser, which, if this is your defensive pistol, is not a great idea, or you end up doing some form of Kentucky windage. Systems like the Mantis Titan X would be the next step. This is a dedicated laser pistol that also integrates with the Mantis app. Now that app gives you real objective feedback and measures your movement before, during, and after your trigger press. It helps you determine what went wrong if your shot didn't land exactly where you'd hoped. This directly feeds into live fire because all of those movements in your hand while in the Mantis world translate to the real world. This is a powerful tool for refining your skills as a shooter. The app also provides drills in case you need some ideas to get the ball rolling and allows you to set realistic goals for your live fire that you can track through your dry fire training. The Titan X is more expensive than the laser cartridge, but comes in substantially lower than the SIRT pistol. Right now, these are only available in the Glock form factor, but down the line I expect we'll see more. As someone who grew up in the video game era, I am very excited to talk to you about VR firearms training. VR, of course, meaning virtual reality. GAIM is the system that I use, but there are others out there. GAIM is a shooting and hunting simulator that works in conjunction with the Meta Quest goggles. Is this real life? It's a completely immersive experience and drops me right onto a virtual range. The pistols look real, the optics look real, everything in there aligns just how it would if you were on a real range. It even compensates for things like bullet drop and different distances. The recorded footage cannot possibly do it justice, so if you have a chance to try something like this, I can't recommend it more. The biggest benefit to a system like this is you look really cool in the goggles. Second to that, I would say that it trains every single aspect of shooting without the loud noise, assuming you did your safety check correctly. GAIM offers their own peripheral pistol as well as a mount that goes on your own pistol that allows you to use it with the system. That mount also works with a dry fire mag and turns your pistol into the same thing as GAIM's pistol. Honestly, looking back, I probably would now opt for GAIM's pistol. Once you add the mount and the weight and the controller and the dry fire mag, it no longer really feels like your pistol anyway. The games are fun and you can play with friends and compare scores. Nothing wrong with a little trash talk among friends. The biggest problem though is the cost. The VR glasses are $300 to $400 on their own, and the game system and controllers stack up on top of that. If you have the spare funds, I do recommend it. Dry fire only works with intention. It doesn't matter which method you choose. What matters is your mindset. You have to be there to learn and improve. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. Shooting is all about consistency. My personal recommendation would be for you to choose one of these methods and stick with it for a while. Set yourself a measurable goal and see if your system is helping you reach that goal. If you get to a point where you think you've kind of plateaued, try adding another system on top. These are not competitors necessarily, they're all stacking tools that can help you perfect your shooting. As my international competitor friend Brenna told me, dry fire is your training. Live fire is just confirmation that your training was done right. What system do you use? Why don't you let us know in the comments? Newbies, if you're looking for some advice, you head down there too. While you're already in that area, make sure you give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you guys around.